Hey guys, welcome back to the Blue Line Breakdown. This is episode 4, and as always, I'm your co-host Jace. I'm joined by Alex and Harrison, and we are going to just get right into it this week. Obviously, we're going to review 5 big games, preview 5 more games, do the Blue Line Pick'em, do a little bit of news. There's really not that much news that happened this past week at all, but we'll touch on a few things, and then we'll get into our next top 10 segment, which will be our top 10 home jerseys for the 2022-2023 season. And yeah, that should be the episode. So we'll get right into it. And I'll hand it off to Alex for the first game that we're going to review from this past week.
Yeah, so Thursday, March 16th, the Canadians paid a visit to Florida in Sunrise, and it was a 9-5 Panthers W. Absolutely insane game. The Habs goalie, Sam Montembeault, both goalies were awful, but Montembeault was horrible. Same with Allen. Montembeault had an 875 save percentage. Allen had a 667. And there was just goals after goals. I believe that was the highest scoring first period in NHL history, if I am not mistaken. Let me just get it right. The score going into the second period was 7-3 Florida. So obviously, goaltending non-existent. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that was how. That he let in 7 goals in one period. Go up and ask him. You're on the team.
Yeah, I might as
Yeah,
well.
that was pretty bad.
Crazy. I remember just checking my phone and checking the scores, and it was like Habs were up 7-3 with like 6 minutes left in the first. And I was like, what the hell? And I turned on the game. I was like, I need to watch this. This could be like a historically high scoring game. And it did settle down a bit after that, but still a 9-5 final was pretty crazy.
Yeah. That's about it for that game, though. I think it was just the high scoring affair that caught everybody's eyes, but
yeah, not too much playoff
Harrison, take it
implications
away.
there, but
yeah. So our next one comes on Saturday, March 18th. We got the Canes taking part in the game in Philadelphia against the Flyers. It was a 5-4 Hurricanes win in OT after being down 3-1, and Flyers went up 4-3 with the Canes tying it with under a second to go, and Aho getting a hat trick in OT. What do you guys think?
yeah, that was a pretty that would be a pretty amazing game to be at or to watch. Like just back and forth. Hurricanes up 3-1, then Flyers score 3 straight, then they're up, then Nate just tied it under a second, and then Aho with already 2 in the game scored a nasty goal in overtime to get the hat trick. Pretty thrilling there. Kind of sucks for the Flyers. Like they had the lead, they came back and they lost it with they were a second away from victory, but they ended up losing the game. But still, fantastic game if you're a fan to watch.
Helps them in the dark.
Yeah,
Jace,
you summed it up. Yeah. Yeah, that helps him out a little bit. I don't know. You summed it up pretty good there, Jace. Harrison, you got anything else? But I think that's it.
Yeah, he pretty much said it all there.
Cool. So yeah, I'll take us to the next one. The next one was happened on Sunday, the 19th. Predators went into New York to face the Rangers, and the Rangers ended up winning that one 7-0. They scored 6 in the first period, and then they got 1, I believe, in the second, and then kind of quieted down after that. But Predators, they couldn't even get 1. They only finished with 22 shots on goal. Yeah, the Rangers the day before too on Saturday they beat the Penguins 6-0. So they won 6-0 and 7-0 on back-to-back days, which is pretty crazy. What do you guys think of the Rangers in that game or the Predators?
I'm glad I was not able to watch that game. Oh my god, dude, that is 6 goals in the first. Jeez, I had a blue line pick him for that game too. I said Tommy Novak would score, and obviously that didn't happen. So not even close. But yeah, not good. Not good at all. What about you, Alex?
I don't know. That's pretty much summed it up pretty good there. I mean, it just kind of helps out the Rangers, not only their playoff odds, but securing home ice, hopefully. That's about it, though. So we'll get into the next one here. Tuesday, March 21st, we had the Blue Jackets visiting the Capitals. It was a 7-6 Blue Jackets overtime W. The Blue Jackets started down 3-0. They came back multiple times throughout the game, tied it at 6 with under a minute to go, and Jack Roslovic, the Columbus native, wins it in overtime. You guys got some thoughts?
You can go, Harrison, if you want.
Not really much besides not really a good showing for goalies, I guess. 7-6 is never really a good sign for goalies, but still both under 40 shots. Capitals needed that game for helping them get into the playoffs, but it's pretty much end of the road for them as what they're 6 points back of the Penguins right now, but an extra game played, so it's pretty much end of the story for them. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that game was pretty crazy. It was obviously 3-0, then 3-1, 3-2, and then Capitals went up 4-2, then Jackets made it 4-3, then Caps went up 5-3, then it was 5-4, and then tied at 5. Bemstrom tied it, then Caps went up again 6-5, then they tied it at 6. It's just Jackets were playing from behind all game. They never had the lead until they won it in overtime. So pretty crazy win if you're a Jackets fan, and if you're a Capitals fan, you got to be pulling your hair out on that one, having the lead multiple times and choking it away like that, especially needing that extra point to stay within the playoff hunt. But for a fan perspective, crazy entertaining game. 7-6 overtime. Don't see that too often.
Summed it up
Wanna
pretty
move
good.
on?
Harrison, you want to take it away?
Yeah, our last one here that we're going over is the one that happened last night. I had the privilege of being there. It was Coyotes at the Oilers, which resulted in a big Oilers dub in overtime. The story was McDavid getting his 60th goal in 72 games, with also just Dry getting 4 assists. But yeah, it was wicked. Atmosphere was pretty crazy. What do you guys think?
Jace, you take it away. You're the Oilers fan.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a 4-3 win for the Oilers. And again, they were kind of playing from behind most of the night. They got the first goal, but then Arizona tied it, then took the lead, then Edmonton tied it, then Arizona took the lead again, then Edmonton tied it again. Nuge got the other 2 goals for Edmonton, and Keller also got 2 for Coyotes. He's been on a heater recently, but yeah, another thrilling game. And for McDavid to hit 60 in overtime, assist from Draisaitl. Draisaitl's had an amazing game that game, and pretty historic that we're getting to witness McDavid just have a unreal season year after year, just setting new personal bests, and obviously hit 60 goals, and he's not done yet. There's still 10 games left, so exciting to see how what he finishes the season with.
Just want to highlight Nuge too. Nuge had a fantastic game. Obviously, we all watched that one, but Draisaitl, 4 assists, the 2 passes in overtime too, just gorgeous.
Money.
Do you guys think McDavid hit 70? I think we brought this up a little bit ago on the podcast, but do you guys think he hit 70 with 10 games left?
Unfortunately, I don't think he does, but it would be freaking awesome if he does, but I don't think he will. I say he gets just a bit short. 67, 68 probably. It's my pick. What you,
As much as I want him to, I kind of agree with you, Harrison. He'll get between 65 and 70 if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to come just short. I think my prediction a little while ago was 69. I think I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
Go 69, but he can absolutely do it if he wants to, which is pretty neat. With that being said, shall we move on to the big games for this upcoming week, fellas?
Yeah, so the first one that we have here, it's on Saturday, March 25th. It's obviously big metropolitan game here. We got the Capitals in Pittsburgh take on the Penguins. Obviously, it's going to be Ovechkin versus Crosby, which even though they're at the tail end of their careers, it's always a good battle to see those two go at it. And they're both fighting for a wild card. Like Pittsburgh has wild card 2 right now, but they need to keep winning in order to hold it. And one of the teams chasing them is Washington, who's only 6 points behind Pittsburgh. So it's a big game for both teams trying to fight for that those wild card spots. And I'm sure Ovechkin and Crosby and the whole teams really will bring their A game for that one, especially considering they kind of got a bit of a rivalry going on. But yeah, what do you guys think about that one?
If you're the Penguins, you gotta really hope for a win. You need those points, especially with how tight the Eastern wild card is right now. Florida is just 2 points behind, and then it's Washington, who's 6 points behind. The Penguins at 80 points on the season at the time of recording this. So Penguins really need those 2 points. I don't think it's the Capitals' year this year to make the playoffs. With that being said, Harrison, what do you think?
Yeah, Jace, like you mentioned, the rivalry between these two teams and Crosby and Ovi, obviously it's not as heated as it used to be, but they're obviously still not slowing down as Ovi just passed Gretzky for that record. What record was it? 13 or 14 seasons as 40 plus goals.
Yeah.
Just crazy. Yeah. And Crosby had a beautiful goal last night at backhander, which was, oh man, that was something. Yeah. Not much else to say about that one other than Pittsburgh needs that one.
Yeah. All right, let's move on here. So Saturday, March 25th, same night, we have the Golden Knights visiting the Oilers. This is a massive Pacific Division battle. 4 points currently separate the first in the Pacific, Vegas, and third, Edmonton. Vegas does play Calgary tonight, Thursday, March 23rd. So we'll see if Vegas can pull that out or if Calgary can do any favors for Edmonton. But what do you guys think?
It's like you said, big implications here for the top 3 in the Pacific. This is the first of 2 matchups for the rest of the season between Edmonton and Vegas. And then the team that sits between them is LA, and Edmonton plays LA 2 more times and Vegas plays LA 1 more time. So right now Vegas is 1, LA's 2, Edmonton's 3, but they each play each other numerous times to finish out the season. So things could change. I could see any of those 3 teams finishing in any order of the top 3, and Seattle's not really far behind. So it's definitely not set in stone in the Pacific. It'll be fun to see how things shake out. And yeah, this game is probably the first one with the big playoff implications and home ice for the Pacific Division.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, these are like 4-point games coming up, which is basically stealing 2 points from the other team. But yeah, I'd love to go watch that game, but unfortunately tickets are like 250 $250 a piece for the worst seats in the house. So that's kind of meh, but we'll see. It's just as good with Jack Michaels. He makes it entertaining.
Yeah. Seattle, 2 games in hand, on Edmonton. Edmonton currently has 90 points, Seattle 85. So Seattle could come within 1 point of the Oilers. So that's just how close the Pacific is, nonetheless, the West. But I think that wraps it up pretty good. Harrison, do you want to take us on to the next game?
Yeah, the next game we got is next day on Monday, March 27th. We got Panthers hosting a visit to the Ottawa Senators, which means the Panthers are attempting to sneak into the wild card spot with a struggling Atlantic division, which is surprising. And yeah, they're only 1 point out. So let's see if they can get it done. What do you guys think?
Panthers, yeah. They're just 1 point behind the Penguins for the second wildcard spot right now. So if you're a Panthers fan, you really need this win, especially against these struggling Senators who, as of a couple of weeks ago, you thought maybe they could sneak in. It would be a good story, but they've really fallen off here. So if you're the Panthers, you really got to capitalize on a game like this. And Jace, do you got any thoughts?
Not too much else to add. You guys said it pretty good, but yeah, Panthers fans know how big of a game every game the rest of the season is, and the Sens, they were playoff hopefuls. They were making a push, but they haven't been winning too much as of late. So they still have a chance, but it's definitely dwindling. So for them, they need this win if they have any hope to get back in the hunt with time running out here with only around 10 games left in the season or so. But I think that wraps that game up pretty well. Pretty big one there, and brings us to the next one. Also Monday, the 27th, the Devils will be in Long Island to take on the Islanders. It's a Metropolitan Division battle here. The Islanders are currently in a wildcard spot, and they're trying to maintain that and hold that playoff spot, make sure they make it into the playoffs. And for the Devils, they are looking to keep the home ice advantage that they have right now. They're 6 points up on the Rangers, but they need to keep winning if they want to secure that home ice for round one in that Metropolitan 2 spot. And they're only 2 points back of Carolina, but Carolina does have 2 games in hand on them. So they could, in theory, catch Carolina, but I wouldn't say it's likely. But yeah, both teams, they need looking for a big win here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's a huge game. Obviously, the Devils and Islanders. Carolina's just holding on, obviously, with the loss of Sveshnikov, which is going to be huge. But we'll see what happens. It's almost playoff time, and both those atmospheres in playoff time is going to be crazy. As you know, New York are insane. So, yeah, I might tune into that one for sure.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Both teams, they really need those dubs. Obviously, the Devils, they are pulling away from the Rangers, which I guess that's a good thing. 6 points currently between them. So Devils looking to lock home ice, and yeah, that sums that up pretty good. So the last game we'll preview here is Tuesday, March 28th. We have the Lightning visiting the Hurricanes. So this is a Eastern Conference powerhouse. Both teams are looking to battle it out, and both teams are looking for home ice in the playoffs. Hurricanes, obviously, they should get home ice. It would be a massive shocker, I think. If they don't secure home ice, they are 8 points up on the third place Rangers in the Metro. So they should lock that up pretty nice. And then Tampa is only 3 points behind Toronto right now, third in the Atlantic. So pretty close all around. Do you guys have any thoughts?
Yeah, like you said about home ice for Carolina, that's huge, as Carolina's fans are crazy as well as those fans. So if to have just that extra game round would be just that could change the whole series right there going into the playoffs. So that'll be a huge game. And for Tampa too, they've got some pretty rowdy fans, but it's gonna be tough for them if they have to. Well, obviously, they will be playing Toronto, but in Toronto's gonna lose anyways, though, so they'll be fine.
We can only hope.
Yeah, set in stone. Game 7.
Jace, you got any thoughts?
Book it.
Not really. You guys said it pretty good. Tampa, obviously looking to catch Toronto for that number 2. Even though Toronto's 3 points up with 2 games in hand, they could still do it. And
yeah,
Carolina, I believe. We'll talk about it a bit later, but they're extremely close to just clinching a playoff spot. So now for them, it's get every win they can to just make sure that they have home ice. And if they win their division, then they have home ice for the first 2 rounds at least of the playoffs, which is pretty big, because we all know that the storm surge gets pretty rowdy in the playoffs. So
yeah.
That basically sums up the review and the preview. So now I think we'll get into one of our favorite parts, the Blue Line Pick'em, and I'll pass it off to Alex to review his picks from last week.
Yes, sir. Okay, so again, not my week, but we'll go through my picks again. So last Thursday, I had Chandler Stevenson scoring against the Flames. He did not. I had Jakob Vrana making his return to the Capitals in a St. Louis uniform. He did not score. I had Max Domi against the Flames that Saturday night. He did not score as well. Sunday night, I had Kuzmenko against the Ducks. He did not score. Giroux at the Penguins Monday night. He did not score, but Mike Matheson, the legend out of Montreal this season, he scored against the Lightning at home, which is pretty nice. And then my last pick, I had Nurse against the Coyotes, and big shocker, Nurse did not score. So only got one right on the week. Harrison, do you want to take over here?
I want to say
Yeah.
real quick that that Mike Matheson pick, that was probably your least likely to score out of all of them, and of course he's the one
I
that
was
does score.
just gonna say, literally.
Yeah.
You picked the Nurse one just one game too late because he scored a couple nights earlier, which is unlucky.
No, I know.
Way the
Oh
road.
well.
But yeah, for mine, I had starting off on the Thursday, I had point scoring in New Jersey. He did not score. I had Tuck scoring in Philly. I made that terrible pun last time that he's going to tuck one in the back of that, and it obviously didn't happen. I had
I'm
Keller.
glad you did not score that one.
Me
Based
too,
off
honestly.
that.
I had Keller scoring against Chicago, and he did score, so that helped me big time. So that tied it up at one right there. I had okay, this one's pretty bad. I had Tommy Novak scoring in New York, and obviously that we all know the story about that one. And then for my first defenseman pick, I had Montour scoring in Detroit. Didn't happen. And then I went with my safe pick, taking Ovi scoring at home, and that one put me up 2-1. So that was good. And then I had my last pick, Bouchard against Arizona, and nothing from him. What about you, Jace?
Hit the post too. He was
Did.
close. Bouchard was very close.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, my picks are similar to Alex's. That Thursday night, I picked Kempe to score against Columbus, and LA did win 4-1, but Kempe didn't end up scoring. Friday, I picked Rasmus Dahlin against Philly. Sabres only got 2 goals, both by Olofsson, so Dahlin didn't score. Saturday, I picked Matthews to score against Ottawa, and the Leafs did score 4 goals and won in a shootout, but Matthews did not score somehow because he's just gone kind of colder this season. So I shouldn't have picked him, but who I should have picked was Brandon Hagel because he got a hat trick Saturday. But of course, I pick him Sunday, the day after he gets his hat trick, and he doesn't score against New Jersey. And then Monday, I just went with a defenseman. I picked Seth Jones against Colorado because he scored a decent amount recently. But of course, Blackhawks, they got shut out 5-0 against Colorado. Tuesday, I picked TJ Oshie against Columbus, and it was that crazy 7-6 game, and he did score, so I got one right. And then Wednesday, I picked Nick Bukestad to score against his former team in Arizona, and he didn't score, so I only got one right, same as Alex. So your winner for week 3 is Harrison. He wins 2. He got 2 right. Me and Alex only got 1. So congrats to Harrison.
Let's go.
Next week is mine. This coming
You
week.
said that last week and the week before.
I will say it every week. I will say it every week until it happens. You guys ready to get into it though? Week 4?
Let's do it.
Okay, so tonight, Thursday, March 23rd, I have Quinn Hughes scoring against the Sharks. So my first defenseman out of the way. Then tomorrow, Friday, March 24th, I have Samuel Girard against the Coyotes. Very underrated defenseman for the Colorado Avalanche. So my 2 defensemen out of the way early. And then Saturday, I have Warren Fogle, thanks to Jace, scoring against the Golden Knights, he has low-key been on a heater this season. Definitely deserves, in my opinion, that top 6 role instead of Yamamoto, but that's a discussion for a different day. So Sunday, I have Kevin Fiala scoring against the Blues, who has also been rock solid for the Kings this season. Monday, I have Clayton Keller scoring against the Oilers, just like he did last night, twice. So hopefully that comes true. Tuesday, I have Jake Gensel against the Red Wings. So another Penguins player who has been lighting it up once again this season. Very underrated throughout the league. And my last pick is Brock Nelson against the Capitals. So I'm feeling pretty good this week, honestly.
You're coming home with 0 this week.
Oh,
The
oh
first
my
person
God.
ever gets
Okay.
0. It's coming. It's coming.
No. If it does, yeah,
Hopefully I
I have
don't
my
get karma
doubts.
for that one. Yeah, moving
Book
on
it.
to
Book
mine.
it.
Okay. Moving on to mine for Thursday night. I'm taking Mitch Marner in Florida. He's got 3 goals in his last 3 games, which goal in each of his last 3. He's only 4th on the Leafs for scoring, but I'm pretty confident that he'll score tonight, keep the heater going. And for Friday, I took Kirill Marchenko against the Islanders. He's got 2 goals in his last 5. But there's this weird pattern that I noticed. He's got no goal, and then a goal, and then no goal, and then a goal, and then no goal. So he's due to score again tomorrow night. It's gonna happen, but probably not, knowing
Okay.
my luck.
Okay, buddy.
It's
Okay.
probably not gonna happen though. We'll see. We'll see. And then Saturday, I take my first defenseman. I'm taking Vince Dunn to score in Nashville because it'd be such a Nashville thing to do to let defensemen score. But it's actually he hasn't been too bad this year. He's got 13 goals on the year as a defenseman, so no, he's hasn't been too bad for the Kraken. Uh, on Sunday, I take my second and last defenseman, Hampus Lindholm in Carolina. He's got 2 goals in his last 5, surprisingly, and he leads Bruins D-man with 10 on the season. So I'm feeling all right about that one. And Monday night, I've got this guy who's been on a heater recently, Matthew Boldy against Seattle. He's got 5 goals in his last 5, including a hat trick. So he's been turning it up quite a bit. And yeah, that one, a pretty good pick. Tuesday, I've got Adrian Kempe scoring in Calgary. He got 2 goals against them in his last game, so I feel like he'll turn it up again because LA just likes to eat against Calgary. Everyone likes to eat against Calgary this year.
Mhm.
Screw Calgary. And yeah, for my last pick on Wednesday, it's a little bit of a meme pick. We've got Cal Clutterbuck scoring in Washington. He scored 2 goals last game against the Leafs. Only 4 on the season, but it'd be pretty funny if that one pulls through.
That is outrageous.
Cal
Okay.
Clutterbuck.
Cal Clutterbuck. That is
If he scores, we'll
unbelievable.
just give you the win.
If he
I'm
scores, I'll
down.
say this right now. If he scores, I will buy a Cal Clutterbuck jersey. And clip this. I don't care. I will buy his jersey.
Authentic.
I will. Shake it on it. Virtual shake.
We'll see about that. All right, and for my picks for tonight, Thursday, I went with the guy making his return off of a pretty scary injury, John Carlson. He played 30 games this year before getting hurt, and he did score 8 goals, so not too bad for a defenseman. For my Friday pick, I went with one of the best goal scorers in the league this year, Mikko Rantanen against Arizona. He has 47 goals on the year. He's probably going to hit 50. He's having a great season. For my Saturday pick, I went with from the New Jersey Devils, Nico Hischier. He's also having a pretty good season. He's at 67 points, 30 goals. They're playing Ottawa on Saturday, so that's obviously a pretty big game for them. For my Sunday pick, I went with a St. Louis Blue. I went Jordan Kyrou against LA. He has 31 goals on the year. He hasn't scored his last 2 games, but maybe he can get one against LA that day on Sunday. For my Monday pick, I went with a Buffalo Sabre against Montreal, Alex Tuck. He also has 30 goals on the year, but he hasn't scored since the 13th, so he's due. Maybe he can get one against Montreal. Tuesday, I took my second defenseman, a Dallas Star. I went with Miro Heiskanen. He has 61 points on the year and 11 goals, so he's having a really good season for Dallas. And yeah, maybe he can get one against the struggling, or I guess they're not struggling, they're just really bad, Chicago Blackhawks. And Wednesday, my last pick, I went with Minnesota Wild forward Mats Zuccarello. He's got 22 goals on the year, so not crazy amount, but still he's a 20 goal scorer and he has 41 assists. So see if he can score that night for me. And yeah, those are our picks for this upcoming week for the Blue Line Pick'em.
We'll see what happens.
Cool.
I'm taking
I
win
will
number.
come home with the dub. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm stopping you right there.
Okay. This guy's got 0 dubs. He'd be like,
Yeah, about to be my first. You know what? And if I don't win, you will be the second person to get 0 correct after I do it
Okay.
in the same week.
Okay.
After I do it in the same week. Anyways, shall we do some news, the limited news out of the National Hockey League this week?
Let's do it.
Cool. Harrison, start us off.
Yeah, this one took, I think, a lot of hockey fans by surprise, unfortunately, which was Fanatics taking over Adidas in 2024-25 as a new NHL jersey provider, which hurts me as a jersey collector because I'm not really the biggest fan of the quality of Fanatics jerseys, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what they can do. What do you guys think?
I think that's awful. Honestly, I don't know how. If you're the National Hockey League, that is quite possibly the worst manufacturer you could have gone with.
Yeah.
For the jerseys. I don't understand that at all. It's pretty embarrassing, but Jace, what do you think?
I will say that initially it doesn't like. I'm not a fan because obviously the jerseys that Fanatics puts out right now just for fans to buy, they're replicas and they're not nearly as high quality as the Adidas ones. But if Fanatics is going to actually make jerseys for NHL players, I would at least hope that they up their quality. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way they can put the quality of jerseys that they sell as the replicas to fans, that same quality on the backs of the entire NHL. Like, they would. You got to assume maybe not, they won't be as good as Adidas quality, but you got to assume that they'll at least be a little better than what they are now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
for those who, yeah. Sorry, you finish up there, Jace.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it's not looking good right now, but I'm just hoping that they increase their quality. That's all I guess we can hope for right now.
Yeah, I was hoping they'd go with maybe CCM because CCM's the jersey provider for the CHL, and the jerseys there actually like they're pretty sick. I can't even lie, but even Nike would have been cool. But I've read that they're trying to stay away from hockey nowadays, which is kind of frustrating. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But, oh well. I thought CCM would have been the number one, but oh well. What can you do? Average
based on the current Fanatics quality, like for those who don't know, we're all jersey collectors, I'd say. So having a few Fanatics jerseys in my collection, they're like, the material is just so much, it captures so much more heat compared to the Adidas.
It does.
If you actually supply those for the like NHL players out on the ice, they'd be cooking, man. Like, you think they sweat so much already? It'd be like ×4. Like, it would be awful. I don't know. I agree with Jace though. Like, you can't put out that same quality. That'd be ridiculous. I think it's good to know as well that they signed it's a 10-year contract agreement. So it won't kick in next season, but the season after. So one more year of Adidas. Yeah, one more year of Adidas jerseys, and then hopefully they all go on sale pretty cheap and everybody can pick some up before Fanatics kicks in. Yeah, because when Bauer still produced them, and then they announced they were going over to Adidas, and Adidas eventually released all their jerseys. Bauer jerseys were like $60.
The Reeboks.
They're a really good deal. Or sorry, yeah, not Bauer. What am I thinking? Reebok. Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking Bauer. Yeah, Reebok jerseys. They were like $60. So I don't know.
And they're actually pretty good too. Reebok isn't bad. Like, they're actually stitched like Fanatics, where it's just heat pressed numbers, and they just start to peel pretty easily. And they can't even get the last names right. I've seen so many photos, like that Bedard photo. It's like Beard something.
Yeah.
I saw like a Sissons jersey was upside down. Like, what, dude?
That is
ridiculous. Oh man.
Did you see even like the hats? There was a Jets hat where the logo was just flipped upside down.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's absurd.
New York Islanders shirt that was a Rangers logo. Like, how did they even set up? Like, dude.
Last one
Oh boy.
that I saw. It was the Devils jersey. It was the Hughes jersey, and then it had Heischer's number 13 on the arms. That's I don't
You see
know.
the Spurgeon one too, where it was like Spurgeno and he actually signed it
Yeah,
Spurgeno on the number.
yeah, that's pretty funny. Anyways, shall we move on? I guess. Yeah.
I think
we
we
should.
should. All right. So the next part that we're going to get into is the Ducks and Blackhawks and Blue Jackets have all been eliminated from playoff contention. Kind of a quick point here. But yeah, all this past week, the three of those were eliminated, along with the Sharks, who were eliminated the week prior. So those four teams are probably in the front running for the Bedard sweepstakes at this point. Do you guys have anything to add? It's not really
Yeah,
that groundbreaking, but
who'd you guys rather have Bedard go to out of those three teams? Who would you guys pick?
Of those three,
Yeah.
probably the Blue Jackets to go play with our buddy Corson, maybe.
That'd be pretty wicked.
But yeah, honestly, the Blue Jackets, I'd say. Over
Me
the
too,
Ducks and the
honestly.
Blackhawks, I don't know.
I would say Chicago.
The
Well,
OG six team.
oh, okay.
They play at least. Well, I watch Oilers games the most. The Blackhawks play Edmonton 3 times a year, so we get to see them more. But they're not in the Oilers division, and plus Chicago is it's an original six team. It's the biggest market out of those three teams.
Yeah, bet we
And
would probably make it happen.
I feel like if maybe like out of the three teams, that's probably most likely like going to happen just for that reason. But
Yeah.
what do you
Seeing
think,
them on the
Harrison?
Ducks too.
Yeah,
go
with the
ahead.
freaking with McTavish and Zegras and oh gosh,
Yeah.
that'd be terrifying. I can't even lie. They got a good future. Still losing
Mhm.
to the Oilers though.
Unless
2017
Kessler comes
still
back
haunts
and
me.
holds the pad. Yeah.
Worst call, one of the worst calls of all time.
Anyways, you guys got any more comments or shall we move on? All good? All right. So second last piece of news here. We have coming out of the Avalanche organization, Jared Bednar has extended through to the 2026-27 season. He has been a fantastic coach for the Avalanche. Obviously, provided them with a cup last year. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean Jared Bednar, he's been their coach for a while. He even was their coach when they had that miserable 48-point season in 16-17. But I don't think that was so much his coaching as it was just the team wasn't ready yet. McKinnon hadn't had a breakout year yet, Rantanen, and they got Makar that year. So, but with the roster that they have now, Bednar's he's coached them to the top of the league and multiple times through multiple playoff rounds into a cup last year. So, why fix if it ain't broke? So, yeah, if he does stay to the end of that tenure, assuming he's not fired, which I doubt he will be, then he'll be their coach for like over 10 seasons, which is pretty crazy because you don't see that too often. Where coach stays with the team for a decade, but very likely can happen with him.
Yeah, like you mentioned, he was there for their terrible season like 2 years ago, and it makes you think like with coaches that are coaching bad teams and get fired, like does it make you think that they could maybe be a good coach if they had obviously a better team around them and they get fired just because they had a bad team? But yeah, I don't know. It makes you think how different NHL history could be.
Well, I think Bednar shows that too, because I mean, obviously the team wasn't there in that miserable season, and then he carries them to the cup. Well, carries them is maybe a stretch, but brings them to the cup last year. So I don't know. All good to move on here, though.
Let's do it. So for our last piece of general news for this week. We got the day we're recording this, actually, the Hurricanes have the chance to clinch a playoff spot, the second playoff spot in that East bracket, and the second one overall, actually, since Bruins are the only one since they clinched actually like a while ago now. Just crazy. But any thoughts?
Not really too much. Just it was inevitable. So yeah, they're this number 2 team in the league, number 2 team to be able to clinch. And I think there's like 3 scenarios that they can clinch tonight. So I would be shocked if they don't. But yeah, now it's just trying to play for home ice, like we said earlier, for the Hurricanes.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay, shall we move on to the new segment this week?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, I'll start it off here. So we have for this week the top 10 home jerseys this season. So the 2022-23 season. Maybe we'll branch out and do different jerseys, reverse retro maybe, in a different podcast. But for this one, we got the top 10 home jerseys. So how do we want to do this again? Should we do we all knock off 10, 10, 10, 9, 9, 9, go like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so start off with my number 10 pick. I do want to give an honorable mention to the Boston Bruins, who did not make my list, but I think that's the only honorable mention in my opinion. I don't think any other home jerseys are even close to those 11, I guess. But my number 10 is the Seattle Kraken. And I don't know what it is about the jersey. I think it's just kind of the navy. It flows. The logo is obviously gorgeous. And they steal the number 10 spot over the Boston Bruins in my list. So, Jace, take it away.
Yeah, Kraken did not make my top 10, but they were just outside. They would be an honorable mention. The Kraken, Panthers, and Canadians would probably be my honorable mentions. But number 10, I had the Calgary Flames home jerseys. As much as I don't like the team, they do have a really nice home jersey. That red with the yellow and the white, I think it looks really sharp, and it fits their team pretty well. I like the red more than I liked their old black ones.
Sure, 100%.
Yeah, that's my number 10 home jersey for this season, and I'll pass it on to Harrison.
My number 10, I've got the exact same as Alex for this one. I've got the Kraken coming in at 10. It's so beautiful. I love the way they implement the red too into the sleeves and the anchors on the shoulders and just the S. It's just all the colors go so well. I'm proud to be able to own that jersey. Even though it's the away jersey, it's beautiful.
I got the home, even if it may not be real. That's okay.
Jordan everywhere.
But number 9 here, I have the Calgary Flames. Pretty much for the same reason Jace does. I think they look great on TV, and they just kind of flow nice. So pretty much the same reason. And Jace, take it away.
Yeah, Flames are obviously great. At my number 9, I have the Colorado Avalanche home jerseys, just their burgundy with the blue. I do like their alternates a little bit more, but their home jerseys are like their basic home ones are still really nice. I love the burgundy and how it fits with that kind of lighter blue, and their logo just fits the jersey really well, and even the font that they use for like their numbers and name, I think it just fits really well together. I feel like some people might not like the Avalanche jerseys because the striping on the arms, like the underarm is burgundy, but over the shoulder and down the arm is blue, so it's a bit different in that regard. But I just think it looks really well when it's out on the ice, and yeah, that's my number 9 for the home jerseys, and I'll pass it to Harrison.
I like that pick because they've changed up their jerseys recently, right? Because they changed up like their helmets or something and their pants. They like used to be black or something, and they went to blue. So I think it fits better that way for sure. But yes, for my number 9, I've got Buffalo Sabres coming in. They have switched their jerseys up a little bit recently, and I like how they've implemented more yellow and the blue got a little bit lighter. I think that definitely helped them out a little bit, and it looks so clean. I love the light colors. Looks so good. It's just yeah, pretty much all I have to say about that one. It's just a beautiful jersey.
I agree. I agree. With that being said, my number 8 is also the Buffalo Sabres for the exact same reasons. I think their old homes, I think that's just not a good jersey. I'm glad that they did the overhaul, and the blue looks fantastic. Their away as well is super nice. So,
Yeah.
Jace.
It's kind of funny. My number 8 is also the Buffalo Sabres.
No
We're pretty
way.
much touching on the Sabres
Jeez.
3 times in a row. But yeah, they didn't really change up the style of their old jerseys. Like the striping's the same. The colors are so much more vibrant. Like before, it was such a dark navy blue, and the yellow was kind of like it wasn't a light yellow. It was more of just like a darker yellow, and it didn't really pop on the ice. It looked kind of dreary. And they also had the numbers on the front of their jerseys before.
Right. Oh, I
And
forgot about that.
I just didn't like the look, but they cleaned it up. They took the numbers off. They made the blue lighter. They made the yellow lighter. And now when you see it on the ice, it's just so much really colorful and really vibrant. And their logo fits really well with it. And yeah, I just really like their home jerseys. But I will say, I like their alternates with the goat head, the black and red. I like that one more. That is one of the nicest jerseys in the
Beautiful.
entire league. But we're just doing home jerseys, so yeah, Buffalo's at number 8 for me.
And yeah, for my number 8, I've got obviously not Buffalo since we just went over that 3 times in a row, but I've got Boston coming in. It's just original 6 team, my first original 6 team on the list. It's just a classic. Whenever you think of black and yellow, I guess you could think of Pittsburgh, but what comes to mind first is usually Boston, and they've had the same jersey forever. The logo is just perfect, and say I'm a proud owner of a Milan Lucic Boston Bruins jersey. So
Cool. Okay, starting off number 7 on the countdown, I have the Chicago Blackhawks, obviously another original 6 team. Just a gorgeous jersey that really hasn't changed much over time. And I'm glad they kept that logo because it looks fantastic, not only on the jersey, but also on the ice. So that's my pick.
Yeah, those jerseys are really nice, and I do have them on my list, but not at my number 7. My number 7, I'm the only one I noticed to have this team in my top 10, but it is the new San Jose Sharks home jerseys. I've always really liked the color teal, and I love the overhaul they did this year. How it's just more teal, and they added more stripes. They have the black and the white striping. Um, I just I don't know, just something about teal for me really. I just really like it, and um, it looks better on the ice, especially when they have all their helmets, gloves, pants shells, and socks. It's just all teal. Like I don't know, it's
looks
just
so
really
good
unique
together.
to me, and it looks really nice. So yeah, the Sharks are my number 17.
I like that. Yeah, their jerseys are so clean. I like the update. I think they look better, a little bit better for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for my number 7, I've got our rivals from 3 hours down south. I've got the Calgary Flames. They're so nice. I hate the logo, obviously, but the colors, yellow and the red, they go so well together and they just look so good on the ice. Unfortunately, I hate complimenting the Flames. It hurts my heart, but they're such a beautiful jersey. And like I think it was Jace that said earlier, they're like getting rid of the black was such a good idea. And yeah, it looks so much better.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay. Kicking off number 6, I have quite a bit lower than you guys actually, the New York Rangers. So another when you recognize this jersey, it's gorgeous. The Rangers with their watermark and all that is just an icon of a jersey, really. So maybe a little bit low on my list looking at it. I don't know. I don't know if I could put it above anybody else, which we will get to later. But yeah, my number 6 is the New York Rangers.
Yeah, the Rangers are super nice. My number 6, you had them at 7, Alex, but I have them at 6. Chicago Blackhawks. I think everyone likes the Blackhawks jerseys. No, there's really no reason to hate them. They're just classic. They're just clean. Just the red with the white and black stripes on the sleeves and at the bottom. The font for the numbers is really nice. It's kind of it's just really appealing to the eye in the jersey, and their logo just finishes it all up perfectly. And then the shoulder patches, obviously, with the C, I don't even know what those green things are going through the C, but it's just a classic look. Like, I don't think there's any reason to ever change the look of the Blackhawks home jersey with the red. Yeah, that's my number 6.
I could probably say I 100% agree with that because I have it as my 6th seed as well. Because it's just, yeah, like you said, you pretty much said it all. I can't really touch more on it other than like growing up, we had that same logo as our minor hockey team. So it was just it was just such a cool logo, all the colors, and on the red too with the stripes. It's just it goes so well on the ice, and it should never change, never ever change it. It's too perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, number 5, I have the Colorado Avalanche. Pretty much for the same reason Jace does. I think their jersey, it just flows really nice. It's pretty unique type of jersey, the way that the striping is, and the logo is just, it makes the entire jersey worthwhile. So my number 5 is the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, great jersey. My number 5 is my favorite team, the Edmonton Oilers. I feel like some people aren't as high on the jerseys, but if you're an Oilers fan, I think like these jerseys just look so clean and they're so classic. Like, this is the jersey that they wore when they first came into the league, and then they kind of went through some phases of switching it up with like copper and darker navy. But I think the royal blue and orange it's just simple. It looks really clean on the ice. Way better than their orange jerseys that they had with Adidas for the past couple of years. It's just, I don't know. It's just a perfect jersey, like, or near perfect, I guess. Like, when you think Oilers, you don't think that orange jersey. You don't think the 2000s navy and copper jersey. You think the royal blue and the orange jersey, and I think it's one of the best jerseys in the league. That's why I have it at 5. And yeah, pass it to Harrison to continue that narrative.
Exactly. I got mine at 5 as well. It's so perfect. I'm so glad they changed it from that orange, like the orange that they had from their 2017 playoff run, the orange crush jerseys. That was the perfect orange. But then when they switched to Adidas, that orange just it was I did not like that orange at all. It was kind of gross. I can't even lie. It's like the reminds me of when the Preds changed from Reebok to Adidas as well, and their yellow got kind of screwed up, and I haven't really liked it since. But yeah, Oilers are number 5 for me.
I agree. Okay, so number 4, I have the Montreal Canadiens for obvious reasons. Big Montreal Canadiens fan, but the jersey hasn't changed over the years. It's just again an icon of the league, really. So I have the Canadiens at 5 or at 4. Sorry.
Their classic jersey, original 16. Nothing wrong with that. And my number 4, I have the jersey that has grown on me by far the most, the Arizona Coyotes. When they first went back to the Kachina, I actually did prefer their old kind of maroon with the old logo jersey a little bit more. But as time went on, this jersey I just liked it more and more. And I didn't used to like the Kachina logo, but again, it grew on me, and it just has such a unique design at the bottom and on the sleeves. And the black with the green on the shoulders, and then the hint of the burgundy striping. It's just so unique, but it's unique in a really good way, I think. And yeah, that's my number 4.
Okay, this is funny enough. My number 4 is also the Arizona Coyotes, and once again, you pretty much said it all. But Yeah, the Kachina, obviously, when they first changed, I didn't really notice the change. They kind of brought it out of nowhere, and I was like, damn, okay. And I also like the other one, but it's definitely growing on me now. Now that they implemented the away jerseys too, it's really nice. The colors go so well, and it just represents Arizona. Awesome. I think it's perfect. It's perfect. Back to you, Alex.
Cool. Okay, one
Oh
last
God.
time at number 3, I have the Arizona Coyotes for, you
No.
guessed it, the exact same reasons. That is, it's just such a nice jersey. You can't, I don't know, you can't really hate that jersey, I think, but yeah, that's my number 3 as well.
Yeah. Arizona, we all love the jerseys, and my number 3 is the New York Rangers. Um, again, the original 6 team. I think the blue with the white and red striping, and then the diagonal Rangers font across the front. It's iconic. And the reason I have it a little bit higher than the Blackhawks is I think blue. I just like blue a little bit more than red, but um, still, all the jerseys in the top 10 that we have are just phenomenal, and they look really nice on the ice. And yeah, the Rangers in the Big Apple with one of the nicest jerseys in the league is my number 3.
I like that pick. And for my number 3, I'm taking Alex's favorite team. I've got the Habs coming in at 3. Their color's so good. Their logo. Some people may say it looks like a toilet seat, but it's so iconic.
Mm-hmm.
It's got hidden meanings in it too, which is it's just perfect. And the colors, they've had it forever, and that never needs to change. Hopefully,
Yeah,
Fanatics doesn't set up. So yeah,
yeah,
that's my number 3.
so clean, so clean. Okay, so number 2, I have the Edmonton Oilers for pretty much the same reasons Jason and Harrison have them. I think the royal blue it's gorgeous. I don't really know why they would have ever switched to the orange um, that Adidas manufactured, just because it just looks so much worse. And when they brought it back as an alternate for the 2018 season, I think it was, um, that made a lot of fans really happy. So I'm glad that they brought it back, and the players obviously wanted it too. You heard it straight from McDavid and co. So that is my number 2.
Yeah, love those. Obviously, we all love those jerseys. My number 2 is the Boston Bruins. I have them way higher than you guys. Harrison has them at 8, and Alex doesn't even have them on the list. But I think out of all the original 6 teams, I think Boston's is the nicest. Detroit's and Toronto's are okay, but they just seem a little too simple. They don't have enough striping or whatever. It's just one color. I think Boston's is perfect. It's black jersey with yellow striping, yellow on the shoulders, and then a white stripe in between the yellow. And obviously the logo is a black bee with the yellow spokes, and then the white in the negative space. And I just think the way that the logo fits the jersey is like perfectly designed. Like black as a main color, yellow as a secondary, and then white as kind of the highlight, uh, the third color. It just looks so appealing to me, to the eye. Yeah, they're my number 2, and they'll pass it to Harrison for his number 2.
Yeah, for my number 2, I'm taking both your guys's. I won't spoil it, even though it's gonna spoil it anyways. But it's your guys' number 1s. It's my number 2. It's the Minnesota Wild. It's yeah. I don't know. Their logo is perfect. It's perfect. It's the best logo in hockey, in my opinion. It represents the state of Minnesota so well. It's color green, just is perfect for Minnesota, and that's pretty much all I have to say about it because I don't want to take away too much of the talking to let you guys talk about it too.
Yeah, so obviously my number 1 is the Minnesota Wild. The jersey, like I said about the Avalanche, it just flows so nice. The green it's a perfect green. The logo has so many hidden things in it, hidden gems. The longer you look at it, the more things you find. So, um, just a gorgeous jersey. So, Jace, do you want to add to that? I guess.
Yeah, they're also my number 1. I just love like the Adidas, the new Adidas style. They had the old style. They went through a red phase and a different green phase with kind of like a circular logo. But I just think this is by far the best jerseys they've ever had. The green jersey with the kind of the beigeish white stripe in the middle with the logo, I think is so clean. And again, like they said, the logo is amazing. It's actually so good. I didn't even realize that it was a bear head until like years after I started following hockey. Like I was like 11 or 12, and I always thought it was just like some forest, but then I was like, oh my God, it's actually a bear head. Like that's so cool or whatever. And I got that red stripe in the middle to highlight the red in the logo. And yeah, I just think the jersey's just phenomenal. It's my favorite one in the league. But yeah, I'll pass to Harrison for his number one.
Yeah, to finish it off, maybe a surprise to some people, but I've got the New York Rangers at one. I love the way blue and red go together. They don't really have a logo on their jerseys, just Rangers across diagonally. I just think it looks so good. And yeah, I guess not when they're in the Stanley Cup Finals though, because they actually had to put their Cup final patch on their shoulders, which was kind of silly. But yeah, that's my number one.
Cool. Good choices.
All agreed on a lot of them, not everything, but
Really similar.
yeah. Got anything else? Any questions about anyone else's list? Why they did or didn't have teams on where they did? Or
Why don't you guys have the Nashville Predators?
Widely regarded as the worst jersey in the league,
100%.
but I don't know.
I would
I
have
don't
to
think it's
agree.
as bad as people say it is. I don't know. I would have the
Definitely.
Ducks.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the Ducks is by far the worst in the league.
Their colors, I don't know.
The logo too.
Yeah,
Nothing about the Ducks jersey appeals to me.
me neither.
But no, I don't think I have any like real questions. I think they're all pretty much all our lists are fairly similar aside from a couple. So I don't know. I'm all right with that.
I got one question.
Uh-oh.
Where was the Bruins jersey, Alex?
You know, I could not. I just couldn't put it over any of the other jerseys, in my opinion. The Kraken, it just hardly beats it out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is about the Bruins jersey, but it just doesn't appeal to me as much as the other ones, I guess. That's the best answer I have for you.
Yeah, that's fair. So kind of
Okay,
same
there's
with
no.
the Canadians
You
with
go.
me. They would be just outside my top 10.
Mhm.
The one thing with them that obviously it's an all-time classic jersey. I'm just not a huge fan of how the stripe goes through the middle of the jersey with the logo. Like obviously the Wild do that same thing and they're my number one, but I just think it doesn't work as well on Montreal. I feel like if they didn't have that stripe in the middle and they just had the logo and then a stripe at the bottom of the jersey, like Boston has or whatever, I think that would look a little better. But still, they're not a bad jersey. They just not in my top 10.
Mhm. That'd be so weird seeing the logo just so plain out there. I don't know.
I
That's
can't even
interesting
picture it
though.
without it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think the Leafs and the Red Wings have to do to be able to get into the top 10? They're too plain for me.
A full rehaul, honestly. Um, Detroit's are honestly, I think they're widely regarded as one of the worst jerseys in the league too, especially off their reverse retro a couple seasons back. That was
Mm-hmm.
awful. And then the Leafs is just they're in the same boat. They don't have enough going on to be a top 10 jersey, or they don't look nice enough, I guess. That's how I would look at it.
Yeah. What about Vegas? The new gold and the helmets.
I don't know. Like the gold is nice. I think it's better than their gray ones, which you guys may not agree with that, but um I don't know. I was kind of surprised that they said, the gold jerseys are going to be the home
Mm-hmm.
jerseys. That was pretty shocking, but oh wow. It's so Vegas, I guess.
Oh, she's 100%.
Yeah. Cool. I think that pretty much wraps it up, unless you guys have anything more to add.
I think that's all for
No,
me.
yeah,
How
I
about you
think I'm
guys?
good.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to be it for this week. So thank you guys all for tuning into the podcast. Make sure you watch the big games we highlighted this week. We got some amazing matchups coming down playoff time here. So we will be back next Friday for another episode of the Blue Line Breakdown. And thank you for tuning in.
Peace out.
Yep. See you guys.